Creating an LLC gives you liability protection and a number of tax benefits. But how exactly should you go about creating your LLC in this day and age? In the last 12 months, I have personally created over 350 LLCs for my clients at mycpacoach.com. And today I want to show you how you can do this by yourself for free without hiring an expensive lawyer, CPA, or spending more money than you actually have to. I'm also going to show you some expensive mistakes that I see people commonly make that can end up costing you thousands more in taxes, a bunch of legal issues, and can even cause you to mistakenly reveal your personal address to the entire internet without you even realizing it. So let's carefully walk through this step by step, and by the end of this video, I promise you will feel more confident about setting up your own LLC. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so a lot of people do not know this, but forming an LLC is really as simple as filling out a simple application. In most states, all you have to do is go to your Secretary of State's website and follow some simple instructions to register your LLC in their state. And in most cases, you can do this online in just a few minutes. You can do this without hiring a CPA, without hiring a lawyer, or paying some type of entity creation service to do this for you. But there is some key information that you will need to determine before actually submitting this application and registering your LLC. And those determinations might change the way you go about creating your LLC and if you will need additional services or not. So let's go ahead and walk through these steps. So step number one, choose the best state to create your LLC in. 90% of the time, it is best to form your LLC in the state where your business operates. This is because most states require businesses to register in the state where they conduct business anyway. And it's even better if that just so happens to be the state that you live in, because that will also simplify your taxes and your annual filing requirements. For example, most LLCs are taxed as pass-through entities, meaning that 100% of your LLC's business income is not taxed at the entity level, but instead it passes through to the owners of the LLC, and then they report their share of that income on their personal tax return. So for example, let's say you live in California, but someone online told you to create an LLC in Wyoming because they have no state income tax. Well, even if that is the case, if you're taxed as a pass-through entity, it would not even matter because all of that income will be taxed to you personally based on the state you personally live in. And if that so happens to be California, then you would still be subject to California tax. So don't make this mistake. Now, with that said, there are legitimate reasons for forming an LLC in other states, such as privacy protections. For example, states like Wyoming, Delaware, and Nevada do not require the disclosure of the owners of an LLC, whereas in most states, that information is publicly available. So in situations where the owners want to remain anonymous, they may form their LLC in another state like this, but generally it is best to form your LLC in the state you conduct your business. And I'll give you some other tips for privacy protection in a moment here. But step number two is to choose a name for your LLC. Now, the name you choose for your LLC must be unique and cannot already be in use in your state. And to check this, you can just go to your Secretary of State's website and search the business name you have in mind. Now, outside of choosing a unique name for your LLC, you also will want to choose a marketable business name that ideally reflects the nature of your business. Your state may also require you to include certain designations in your name, such as LLC or limited liability company in it, so be sure to check those requirements as well. Now, the third step here is very important, and that is number three, to appoint a registered agent for your LLC. Most states require you to appoint a registered agent when forming your LLC. So let's talk about what that is and some best practices. Now, generally, a registered agent is just a person or entity that is authorized to accept legal documents on the behalf of your LLC. And to qualify, your agent must have a physical address in the state where you are forming that LLC. Now, if you want to, you can personally serve as your own registered agent, but let me warn you, if you do, your information will become public record, meaning your personal name and the provided physical address will be publicly available to the entire internet. So if that's your home address, you want to be very careful with that. Now, if you want more privacy protection for your LLC, then you can simply appoint a third-party service to keep your personal information private. And I'll include some of my go-to vendors for you in the description below if you are interested in that. Now, step number 4 is filing your articles of organization. Now, this is a legal document that officially registers your business as an LLC in your state, and most states provide a standard form for you to complete when registering your LLC, so this is pretty straightforward. Typically, it requires you to provide basic information like your LLC's name, your primary address, the business purpose of the LLC, how it is managed, and the organizer of the LLC. Now, let me warn you about this organizer portion for a second here, because this may also present a privacy issue for people who care about that. The person who registers your LLC will be listed as the LLC's organizer. And if that's you, this means that your name could become public record again in its association with this LLC, which means that someone could simply search your personal name and see all of the LLCs you own if you are listed as the organizer. If you don't want that level of visibility, then you can just have a third party register your LLC for you. And many registered agents, if you're considering that, also provide this level of service. So if you value this, you could have all of this stuff done in one place with one of the vendors I link for you in the description below. Now, if you don't care about this, then no problem. You can just continue to proceed with your LLC filing on your own. And that will lead us to step number 5, creating an operating agreement. Now, this is usually a private document that outlines how your business is structured and how it operates. Now, some states require you to have this and some do not, but in either case, this document is usually not public record and should be kept internally to have a binding legal agreement in place for your LLC. This document will typically outline the ownership structure of the LLC, who owns it, who manages it, and how profit and losses are distributed, and so on. Now, if you are a single member LLC, or in other words, you own it solely, then this may be a very straightforward and simple document. However, if you have a multi-member LLC, or in simpler words, you have partners, then you should carefully consider the terms that you include in your operating agreement. For example, it may include clauses around what happens when disputes arise amongst partners, like what happens if a partner wants to quit while another partner continues to work in the business, or what happens if someone unfortunately dies, and so on. In many ways, forming a partnership is like going into a marriage. And as such, it is extremely important to have agreements like this in place to prevent issues that may arise in the future. So be sure to carefully create this document and seek legal advice from a professional in the event that you need it. Step number 6, submit your LLC registration. Okay, so at this point, you should have enough information to submit your LLC filing either directly through your Secretary of State's website or through one of the provided third-party vendors that we have linked in the description for you below if you have decided to use one. So let's talk about cost for a second. Most states do charge a small filing fee, which could be as little as $50 or as high as $500, depending on the state you are registered in. So creating an LLC is not technically free in that sense, but you can avoid a lot of the other costs if you do not need some of those additional services that we have discussed already. Anyway, once you have submitted your LLC registration, there is still more you need to do to ensure that you do not lose your legal protection under that LLC or other tax benefits. So let's quickly go over those things as well. Step number 7, obtain your EIN or employer identification number. Now, this is like a social security number, but for your LLC. It is a unique number that is specific to the LLC that you have created, and you will want to get this as soon as possible because when you go and set up a business bank account, they will often require this. In addition to that, when you file your taxes, they will ask you for your EIN number. So you will want to get this number as soon as possible. And here's the good news. You don't have to pay anyone to do this for you. You can apply for this number for free right on the IRS's website, which I'll also link for you in the description below. But basically, you will want to apply for this once you have received official confirmation that your LLC has been registered with your state. And from there, you will include this number when filing your LLC tax returns going forward, and so on. Step number 8, make your tax election with the IRS for your LLC. One of the largest tax benefits of having an LLC is the ability to choose how you want it to be taxed. And you have 75 days from the date your LLC was formed to elect how you want it to be taxed with the IRS. You can have it taxed as a disregarded entity, as an S corporation, as a partnership, or a C corporation. But by default, your LLC will be taxed as a disregarded entity, which is usually best if your business is not earning or expecting to earn a lot of income. But if you're expecting to earn more than about $50,000 in profits, you will want to make an election. And if that's you, switching your entity tax classification could end up saving you thousands of dollars in taxes. And I have a separate video on that, so just comment entity below if you would like it, or just contact my team to do a free assessment for you. Step number 9, open a business bank account. Now, this is extremely important both for legal reasons and tax reasons. So let's start with the legal reasons. So first and foremost, you can lose your liability protection for your personal assets if you mix those assets with the assets of your business. So to avoid that, it is generally recommended to create a business bank account to avoid commingling your personal and business assets for this reason alone. Plus, from a tax perspective, you will want to have clean business records. And what is not clean is showing the IRS that you have a bunch of personal expenses mixed in with your business records. If the IRS finds out that you are commingling personal and business funds, they may disallow some of your business deductions altogether and leave you with a much higher tax bill, often including interest and penalties. So do yourself a favor and open a business bank account with whichever bank that you're most comfortable with. And most of the major banks allow business bank accounts and can even extend additional resources like financing to you in the event that you need it. Step number 10, maintain LLC compliance. So the very last thing you need to do once your LLC is formed is to simply keep it in good standing. From a legal standpoint, most LLCs are required to file annual reports with their state to renew their registration. And if you miss these filings, your LLC could expire and be dissolved by the state, resulting in the loss of the legal protection that it provides. So make sure you keep up with your annual filings with your Secretary of State. Secondly, from a tax perspective, you are generally required to file a tax return if your LLC earns income. And those filings vary based on the type of income earned and the type of LLC you own and how it's taxed. Generally speaking, single member LLCs report their business income on Schedule C, which is due by April 15th of each year, typically. If you have partners, then your LLC would be considered a multi-member LLC, and you would have to file Form 1065 by March 15th. Or if your LLC is taxed as an S corporation, you will have the same due date, but you would need to file Form 1120S. Or if you have a C corporation, you would need to file Form 1120 every year, which is typically due by April 15th by default, but C Corps are able to change that date. Now, missing any one of these filing requirements can result in massive penalties, interest, and a number of other issues that could jeopardize your LLC. But if you can simply follow the steps we just walked through, you will be able to enjoy the additional legal protection and benefits and tax benefits that LLCs may provide. If you have questions on this, just drop a comment below. If you need help setting up your LLC, just check out some of the resources in the description below. And if you are expecting a tax bill, just apply to work with my team directly at mycpacoach.com.